Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss second year Civics TSBAE, second year Civics chapter wise important questions with weightage. This video is very important. Tomorrow you have second year Civics paper, Civics second year paper, okay? So chapter wise, very useful to APBAE also. Here we go now, chapter 1. The weightage is 26 marks. So LAQ, explain the salient features of Indian Constitution. Please make a note. And SAQs, explain any four causes for the birth of Indian national movement. What are the various programs adopted during the non-cooperation movement? Point out the main provisions of the Independence Act 1947. Explain the role of extremists in the Indian national movement. These are SAQs. Now VSAQs, moderates in Indian national movement, methods of extremist, Simon Commission, civil disobedience movement, Constituent Assembly, drafting committee, preamble, Minto-Marley Reforms Act. These are VSAQs. Okay. Now second chapter, chapter 2, second year civics, we have been discussing. Second chapter, 26 marks weightage is there. First LAQs, explain the fundamental rights as incorporated in the Indian Constitution. Describe the directive principles of state policy. Explain the differences between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. VSAQs, 2 marks. Right to equality, right to freedom, socialist principles, Gandhian principles, any four fundamental duties. Okay. Now come to chapter 3, third chapter, very important. 46 marks weightage is there, highest weightage is there. LAQs, describe the powers of Prime Minister of India, describe the powers of President of India, explain the powers of Indian Parliament, explain the composition and functions of Union Council of Ministers, write about the functions of Supreme Court of India. Now SAQs, write about election of Vice President and his powers and functions. Explain the functions of Speaker of Lok Sabha. What are the emergency powers of President of India? What is impeachment procedure of Indian President? Write about judicial review of Supreme Court. VSAQs, composition of Electoral College, differences between ordinary bill and money bill, composition of Rajya Sabha, composition of Lok Sabha, write about the composition of Union Council of Ministers, national emergency. Chapter 4, 21 mark weightage is there. SAQs, write about powers and functions of the state governor, explain the powers and functions of the chief minister. Third one is explain the structure of state legislative council, describe the power and functions of the High Court, point out powers and functions of State Council of Ministers. VSAQ, State Executive, appointment of Chief Minister, Legislative Assembly, Assembly Speaker, composition of High Court, discretionary power of the Governor. Now come to fifth chapter, chapter 5, 14 mark weightage is there. First have a look at the SAQs. Describe the legislative relations between union and states. Point out the administrative relations between union and states. Mention the financial relations between union and states. Now VSAQs, 2 mark questions. What are the two elements that determine union-state legislative relations? How are legislative matters divided between the union and the state? Write a note on union list, concurrent list, residuary powers. Now 6th chapter, 12 marks weightage. Chapter 6, write a brief note on Telangana Panchayat Raj Act 2018. Describe the composition and powers of Zilla Parishads in Telangana. Describe the main provisions of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. Mention the main provisions of 74th Constitution Amendment Act 1992. VSAQs, Gram Panchayat, Gram Sabha, Sarpanch, Mayor, State Election Commission, Mandal Parishad Development Officer, MPDO. This is about chapter 6. Now come to 7th chapter. Chapter 7, totally we have 11 chapters. Second year Civics, TSBAE, also useful for ABBAE. VSAQs, 7th chapter VSAQs. Only 2 mark weightage is there. When is National Voters Day observed? What are electoral voting machines? Okay. Now come to chapter 8, 7 mark weightage, 5 marks plus 2 marks. First SAQ. Describe various anti-corruption laws in India. VSAQs 2 mark questions. Form of corruption, whistleblowers. Chapter 9, 31 mark, second highest. 31 marks weightage is there. LAQs. Explain the various factors which led to the agitation for a separate Telangana state. Elucidate the role of JSCs in Telangana movement. Discuss the formation of Telangana as the new state in the Indian Union. Next, SAQs. Explain the provisions of Gentleman's Agreement. Write a note on Telangana movement in 1969. Explain the constitution provisions of AP Reorganization Act 2014. VSAQs. Mulki rules. Hyderabad state. Hyderabad as common capital. Sakala Janula Samme. Million March. Vishal Andhra. Chapter 10, 10th chapter, 7 marks weightage is there, 5 plus 2. Now 5 mark questions. What is smart governance? Explain the powers and functions of Lokpal. VSAQ. List out the stakeholders in governance. Lokayukta. What is government to citizen model? G2C. Now last chapter, chapter 11, 11th chapter, 14 mark weightage is there. First SAQs. No LAQs here, SAQs plus VSAQs, last chapter. Explain any 2 features of Indian foreign policy. Write a note on the role of non-aligned movement. Describe the powers and functions of General Assembly. Briefly describe the powers and functions of the Secretary General. What is the composition of the Security Council? Describe power and functions. Now VSAQs. How many countries took membership in UN General Assembly? List out the main organs of UNO. Who is the present Secretary General of UN? Who is the present Secretary General? Antonio Guterres, correct? What is Panchashil? These are VSAQs from the 11th chapter, last chapter. Okay, so these are the important questions with weightage regarding second year civics. Okay, and first year civics important questions model paper also I uploaded some 4 or 5 days ago, and first year physics most of the questions in TSBAE most of the questions came from that model paper. And second year students also, I advise second year students also, please go through the model papers. Model papers we have uploaded, and chapter wise weightage also we have uploaded. Now we are making the video on important questions, chapter wise important questions. Okay, I hope that this video is very useful to you. Please leave your doubts in the comment box, any suggestions in the comment box. Thanks for watching my videos. We'll meet again very soon. Latest updates till then. Take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.